2 News has learned the FBI is now looking into a demolition mess in Ecorse. First exposed by the Fox 2 problem solvers, federal agents have seized a computer that was hidden away at the Ecorse City Hall.
Yeah, they want to know what happened to $10 million worth of scrap metal from an old steel mill. Scott Lewis exposed the scandal back in May, and he joins us now with the latest.
I reported a few weeks ago that EPA criminal investigators were looking into asbestos pollution at the old mill site. Now I've learned that FBI agents have joined the EPA probe, and the FBI is looking for evidence of public corruption. This huge chunk of land in Ecorse is the focus of the FBI probe. It involves a crooked demolition man named Tom Carter and a contract he got from the city of Ecorse. Carter was hired to tear down an old steel mill, even though he's unlicensed and has a long history of polluting the environment. He left the job unfinished, the site contaminated, and a trail of unpaid bills and lawsuits. On top of that, millions of dollars worth of scrap metal is unaccounted for. In August, we showed you exclusive video of EPA criminal investigators executing a search warrant at the mill site. They collected samples of asbestos left behind after the demolition. What we didn't know at the time is that the EPA had company. While they were out collecting samples, FBI agents were searching a trailer on the mill site. According to this federal search warrant, they confiscated weigh slips from trucks that hauled scrap metal from the mill. And I've learned the FBI also hit Ecorse City Hall less than 2 weeks ago. They snatched a computer with more information on the scrap metal shipments. They're trying to find out if millions of dollars worth of scrap was pilfered, and if so, where the money went. Fox 2 has learned that the computer snagged by the FBI had been spirited away and stashed at City Hall. Originally, it was here at the mill site. My sources say the mayor of Ecorse sent a police officer and a computer technician to get it shortly after my first story on the mill scandal broke. When the feds hit City Hall on October 19th, they found the computer in the office of Ecorse's deputy police chief, Stephen Green. It was tucked away under his desk. And wait till you hear this. Pollution at the old mill site is far worse than first thought. The problem solvers reported back in May that Tom Carter had dumped debris on the mill site from homes he had demolished. Mixed in with piles of concrete were asbestos shingles, but that's a small part of it. This partially demolished powerhouse is the main focus of the EPA criminal probe. Tom Carter tore a large part of the building down, even though it was laced with asbestos, a known human carcinogen. These pictures obtained by Fox 2 were taken by state investigators. They show asbestos-coated bricks with more asbestos packed between them, exposed to the elements. And look at this. That's a large chunk of asbestos just lying there on the ground. These huge piles of bricks and debris are also contaminated. That white material is loose asbestos. It could be carried by the wind into nearby neighborhoods. It's a clear and present danger to people living near the mill site, according to Dr. Clark Kahn. He's the hazardous waste expert who is overseeing the asbestos removal. Another worry, so much structural steel has been removed the building could collapse, sending a huge cloud of asbestos-laced dust into the air. The state has already tagged the city with an environmental violation for the asbestos mess. They've also fined Tom Carter more than $13 grand for mishandling asbestos and putting his employees in danger. But the fines may be the least of Tom Carter's worries now that EPA and FBI agents are pushing ahead with their criminal probe. Dr. Kahn told the city this was a health threat a year ago. So far, nothing has been done to clean it up. Now, just recently, the city did submit a plan to clean up the site, but the job still hasn't been started. As for the FBI probe, proving how much scrap was in the old steel mill and where it went will be a long and tedious process. I wrote the mayor a letter asking him to sit down and talk to the problem solvers. He's still ducking us.